Something big just happened in Montreal, and Kent Hughes is right at the center of it. New insider reports have Canadiens fans asking one huge question. Is another major move already in the works, and could it completely change Montreal's season before training camp even begins? The Montreal Canadiens have already been one of the busiest teams this offseason, but it looks like general manager Kent Hughes may not be finished yet. However, new reports from trusted NHL insiders suggest that Hughes is still looking for another important piece. So why is adding a top six forward such a big deal? The answer is simple. A top six forward usually plays on one of the first two lines and is expected to score goals, create offense, and help the team's best players succeed. The Canadiens have exciting young talent, but they still need more scoring if they want to compete with the top teams in the Eastern Conference. Kent Hughes knows that building a winning team takes more than one great offseason. It takes patience, smart decisions, and finding the right player at the right time. Reports from NHL insiders Elliotte, Friedman, and David Pagnotta say the Canadiens are willing to be aggressive if the right opportunity appears. That does not mean Montreal will make a trade just for the sake of making one. Hughes has built a reputation for staying calm and avoiding risky moves that could hurt the team's future. Instead, he wants to add a player who fits the Canadiens' long-term plan. If another team makes a talented forward, as the offseason continues, the Canadiens are in a much stronger position than they were just a few years ago. The team has added young talent through the NHL draft, developed promising players, and made smart trades that have improved the roster. Now, the focus has shifted from rebuilding to becoming a serious playoff contender. That is why the search for another top six forward has become so important. One more skilled player could give Montreal better balance, more scoring depth, and stronger support for its young stars throughout the long NHL season. Another reason this story has gained so much attention is Kent Hughes' reputation around the league. He is known for staying patient and waiting for the right opportunity instead of making emotional decisions. If a trade does happen, it is expected to be one that fits the Canadiens' long-term plans rather than a move made just to create headlines. Reports suggest Montreal is willing to pay a premium for the right player, but that does not mean the team will give away its best young prospects or future draft picks without careful thought. Hughes wants a deal that helps the Canadiens now, while also protecting the club's future. Of course, finding the right top six forward is not easy. Many NHL teams are looking for scoring talent, and players who can consistently produce offense are always in high demand. That means the Canadiens could face strong competition if a proven forward becomes available. Other general managers know Montreal has valuable prospects and draft assets, so trade discussions may become more difficult as negotiations continue. Hughes will need to decide whether the price is worth paying or whether waiting for another opportunity is the smarter choice. For now, no trade has been completed, and the Canadiens have not confirmed any specific player they are targeting. Much of the current excitement comes from reports by respected NHL insiders who believe Montreal is still exploring the market. That is an important difference, because rumors and trade discussions happen throughout every offseason, but only a few of them actually lead to completed deals. Fans should expect more speculation as training camp gets closer, especially if other teams decide to make players available through trade. One thing is clear, the Canadiens are not standing still. Kent Hughes appears determined to keep improving his team until he believes the roster is ready to compete at the highest level. Whether that final piece arrives before training camp, during the season, or not at all, Montreal has shown that it is committed to building a team capable of winning for years to come. The next few weeks could be some of the most important of the Canadiens' offseason, and every hockey fan will be watching to see if Kent Hughes makes the move that changes everything.
Demidov avoided the check. Demidov. Look out, gave it away right on the tape of Pinto. And I think a cross-checking call behind the play.
I think it's going to be a slash.
A slash, sorry. It's going against Ottawa, and Nick Cousins can't believe it. And he'll go for 2 or less.
This has been a parade to the box for Nick Cousins, unfortunately. He's going to take a little slash of Demidov into the hand here. So here's the turnover right here, the middle of the ice. And then there's a chop right on the wrist of Demidov.
A rookie star's night ended in pain. Ivan Demidov, slashed down by Nick Cousins, left the ice holding his wrist. The hit didn't just stop the play, it started something bigger. Nick Cousins delivered a two-handed slash right across Demidov's wrist. The Canadiens rookie tried to skate off, but the pain forced him out. He was removed from the game. Before the hit, Demidov was having a strong night. He had already collected 2 assists in the game. He pushed the play against Ottawa's defense and kept creating scoring chances. His skating and passing showed why fans are so excited about him. But after the slash, his night ended early. Head coach Martin St. Louis was asked for an update right after the game. He said, "Not right now. He's still being evaluated, so not right now." That was the official word from the Canadiens bench. The team called the move by Cousins unnecessary. St. Louis added, "There's no need for that. It's an exhibition game. I don't think there's any need for that in the game." Nick Cousins delivered the chop late in the game. This was after a string of rough moments between the two teams. Reports suggest Cousins may have been retaliating after Arbor Shekaj of Montreal had been ejected earlier. Fans were quick to react. Online, they described the slash as cowardly. Analysts said the Department of Player Safety is likely to review the play. That means Cousins could face discipline before the regular season begins. Ivan Demidov's health became the biggest focus of the night. Reports later confirmed he avoided serious injury. Elliotte Friedman shared on X, "Don't believe there's any long-term injury concern for Demidov after the slash he took last night." This was seen as good news for Montreal, especially with the season opener scheduled for October 8th against the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Canadiens have already decided to be cautious. Demidov may sit out the next preseason game. This is to give him time to rest and recover. Alexandre Carrier also stated that none of the Canadiens players had serious injuries coming out of the game. That includes Demidov. Even with the incident, the Canadiens won the game 5-0. The score was one-sided, but the conversation after the final horn centered only on Demidov's injury. Before leaving, Demidov had shown the skill that made him a top draft pick. He helped set up goals. He pressured defenders. He drew coverage every time he carried the puck. His play stood out until the slash ended his night. The Canadiens organization is now focused on 2 things: his health and the league's decision on Cousins. The NHL has not yet released an official statement, but based on past cases, a review by the Department of Player Safety could come within days. The slash happened as Montreal and Ottawa played in Quebec City. The game drew attention because of the rising rivalry between the two clubs. This preseason meeting continued that trend. Demidov's injury scare raises larger questions for the league about how much physical play is allowed in preseason games. Martin St. Louis made his position clear. He stated again that there was no need for that type of slash in an exhibition setting. His words echoed through the post-game press conference. The Canadiens are expected to update Demidov's status as soon as team doctors finish their checks. For now, the official word is precaution. They do not want to risk a setback for one of their most important young players. The Canadiens, despite the slash, showed strength in the rest of the game. They scored 5 unanswered goals. The situation will now move into league offices. The NHL will study the slash and determine if Cousins faces a fine or suspension. The video review will play a role in that outcome. If discipline comes, it will likely be announced before the Senators' next preseason game. For Montreal, all eyes remain on Demidov. His arrival in the NHL has been highly anticipated. He has been labeled as one of the top prospects of his draft class. In his short time with the Canadiens, he has already impressed fans and coaches. That is why the slash drew so much attention. It was not just about one player getting hit, it was about the future of the franchise taking a dangerous shot in a preseason setting. Elliotte Friedman's update eased some fears. His words were direct: "No long-term injury concern." That statement provided the most clarity yet. It pointed to Demidov returning soon, perhaps in time for the season opener. Still, the Canadiens are not rushing. They are expected to sit him at least one game to make sure he is fully ready. The rivalry between Montreal and Ottawa has often included physical clashes. This game continued that storyline. The final score was lopsided, but the real headline became the slash, the injury scare, and the possible fallout for Nick Cousins. As of today, Demidov is being monitored daily. Reports say he is not expected to miss extended time. The Canadiens are waiting for further medical reports. The slash is being reviewed by the league. Fans and media continue to follow closely. This was not just another preseason game. It was a night when a young star was slashed hard, left the ice in pain, and sparked a wave of reaction across hockey.
Ivan Demidov just turned a rookie showcase into something no one saw coming. The Bell Center crowd watched in awe as the 19-year-old forward pulled off plays that left the arena shaking. It wasn't only the goal, and it wasn't only the passes. What happened on that ice has people wondering how far this story will go.
You out there tonight?
Yeah, for sure. It was funny.
I'm not speaking about the ending result, but...
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. Result is bad, but game was fun.
How did you feel on the ice?
Feels good.
What did you like about your game?
Yeah, for sure. It's first game after the summer.
Ivan Demidov is the 19-year-old Russian forward and a rookie in the Canadiens organization. He was the 5th overall pick in the 2024 NHL draft. His name carried weight in Canada and in Russia before this game. That weight grew even heavier after this showcase with the Jets prospects at the Bell Center. The arena was nearly sold out. Fans waited months to see the Canadiens prospects play. When Demidov touched the puck, the crowd stood or leaned forward. Every time he moved, there was excitement. When he made a pass or took a shot, there were applause. In the game, Demidov set up line mates Florian Šekaj and Oliver Kapanen for goals. He then scored a goal of his own that many called highlight reel worthy. He made plays in every period. He was especially strong in the third period. Šekaj said, "The crowd's insane when Demidov has the puck." Laval Rocket head coach Pascal Vincent said, "He was responsible for the majority of them." Speaking of chances to score, he said that what Demidov does on the ice isn't luck. He's a guy who's worked on his game. Demidov's skill in the KHL also drew attention. This game was called a rookie showdown. It featured Canadiens prospects and Winnipeg Jets prospects. The stakes were lower than regular season, but the moment mattered for young players trying to show what they can do. Demidov used the moment well. In total, Demidov recorded a goal and an assist in this game. His assist came from setting up his teammates. His goal came after driving toward the net and finishing with control. He made plays that required speed, puck control, and vision. Every time he got the puck, the crowd responded. They chanted his name. The atmosphere grew louder with each shift. Those reactions came earlier when he played for SKA and when he signed with Montreal. But last night, those reactions were louder than before. Coach Pascal Vincent said for a coach, it is fun to have a player who can make the difference on every shift. Vincent added that Demidov is still young and will continue to improve. Earlier in his career, Demidov had notable moments. In the NHL, he scored his first goal in his first career game. He also had an assist in that same game. In his time with SKA St. Petersburg, he set records for under 20 players. The Manitoba Jets prospects game is a chance for players to prove themselves. Demidov's performance may affect how coaches use him this season. It may influence how often he plays, in what situations, and in which lineup spots. Demidov's pace in the third period stood out. He used speed to beat defenders. He used puck control to avoid losing it in tight spaces. He pushed play into the offensive zone. He forced the Jets prospects to respond. The highlight goal came after he broke in on a breakaway chance. He collected the puck, carried it in, and made the move that beat the goalie. He also made many plays that led to scoring chances, even when he did not get the puck himself. Demidov's presence drew comparisons. People compared the crowd's reaction to what they see for established stars. The buzz around his name came because of how often the crowd reacted when he had the puck. The article noted that fans from all over the city and beyond were paying attention. Some were calling friends to ask if he was going to play. Montreal's Bell Center has history. It has hosted many great Canadiens games. The mood in that building last night reminded many of those big moments. Demidov's shifts added to that feeling. The lights, the crowd, and the sound made the atmosphere feel important. Their goals came from passes he made that opened space. He created those passes under pressure. He made plays while being checked. He found openings. He moved the puck quickly. He moved ahead of defenders. The Rookie Showdown label means this game is about the future of the Canadiens. Demidov is seen by many as a key piece of that future. His performance may shape how the club views its prospect pipeline. Demidov's improvement from prior seasons was noted in the article. It said his recent play in the KHL and his arrival in Montreal last spring showed proof of skill. Skills he used last night with the Jets prospects. Coach Vincent said Demidov's contributions were many. He was responsible for the majority of them, referring to scoring chances. Every shift Demidov took had purpose. He moved with speed. He drove to the net. He passed when needed. He took shots. He built plays. He can impact special teams, even though this was a prospects game. The showing against the Jets prospects adds to Demidov's early NHL resume. It joins his first NHL goal game. It joins the seasons in the KHL. It joins his rookie start last spring. Montreal Canadiens fans will likely remember this game. The name Ivan Demidov trended on social media. Clips of his goal and assists circulated online. Many analysts highlighted his name in recaps. Demidov's age, 19 years, makes this performance more notable. For a player so young, recording both a goal and an assist in a high-pressure setting shows promise. In prospect games, many young players play limited minutes. Demidov played with more minutes and more visibility. He was on ice more often than many peers last night. That gave him more chances to show his skill. His performance laid groundwork. Coaches saw him make difficult plays. They saw him make smart reads. They saw speed. They saw composure. All those things will matter when the real NHL season begins. The game ended. The crowd left with energy. The media talked about Demidov. Sportsnet published an article calling it a show.
Let's begin with the story from the NHL. It's reinstating the 5 players acquitted of sexual assault in July. The athletes were members of Canada's World Junior Hockey team in 2018. In its announcement today, the league said the players' actions were, quote, deeply troubling and unacceptable, but they can return to the NHL in December if a team signs them.
5 players were banned. Now they're back. It's been over 7 years since the night that changed everything. In just weeks, they can sign new NHL deals. And by December, they can be on the ice again. This decision came fast, and it's not sitting well with everyone. The NHL just made it official, and the fallout has already started.
But the union representing these five players in their statement points out that this was deemed to be not criminal. These men were not found guilty.
In a huge announcement, the NHL has cleared 5 players to come back and play. These players were part of Canada's 2018 World Junior Hockey team. Their names are Carter Hart, Dylan Dubé, Michael McLeod, Cal Foote, and Alex Formenton. They had been facing serious charges, but now they are no longer in trouble with the law. On July 25, 2025, a judge in Ontario said the players were not guilty. The case was about something that happened in London, Ontario in 2018. It was during a Hockey Canada event. The players were accused of sexual assault, but the judge said the woman's story did not match the facts. She said the story had problems and didn't feel true. Because of that, the players were found not guilty. Right after the trial, the NHL made their own checks. They had already started their investigation in May 2022. The league looked at videos, messages, and talked to many people. After all that work, the NHL made a decision. The NHL said the players broke the league's rules for behavior. They did not do anything illegal, but the NHL said they still acted badly. The league said their actions were unacceptable, but the players said they were sorry. They had private meetings with NHL leaders. They said they regret what happened. The NHL gave each player a punishment, but that punishment is not forever. They can come back. Here is how the league's timeline works. From October 15th, 2025, 4 of the 5 players can sign contracts with NHL teams. They can start skating and training with their teams on November 15th. But they cannot play in games until December 1st. The 4 players who can sign right now are Carter Hart, a goalie who last played for the Philadelphia Flyers. Dylan Dubé, a forward who last played for the Calgary Flames. Michael McLeod, a center who last played for the New Jersey Devils. Cal Foote, a defenseman who also played with New Jersey. Before the charges, these players had growing careers. Carter Hart was seen as one of the NHL's young star goalies. Dylan Dubé had strong playoff performances. Michael McLeod played top-line minutes in New Jersey. The NHL said in a statement that the behavior of the players fell woefully short of what the league expects. They said this is not how NHL players should act. But after talking with the players and reviewing the case, the league agreed to lift the ban after a delay. This was not a quick choice. The NHL talked to lawyers. They read many pages of court records. They looked at phone records records, hotel camera footage, and interviews. This was the biggest off-ice investigation the league has done in years. The case had first come to light when it was revealed that Hockey Canada paid a large sum of money to settle the woman's complaint in 2018. That money came from a special fund, and that made many people angry. The whole hockey world was affected. Because of the case, many changes were made at Hockey Canada. Leaders resigned. New rules about safe sport and behavior were introduced. The NHL's own investigation took over 2 years to complete. Now that the players are cleared to come back, teams must decide if they want to sign them. That choice is not easy. Some fans may not want to see them on the ice. Other teams may feel pressure to stay away. As of now, no team has signed any of the 4 available players. One quote from the NHL said, "While the players' conduct was found not to be criminal, it was clearly unacceptable." That quote came directly from the league's public statement. The NHLPA, the players' union, also gave a comment. They said, "To avoid a protracted dispute that would cause further delay, we reached the resolution that the league announced today." The timeline remains clear. October 15th, the players can sign. November 15th, they can train. December 1st, they can play games again. For now, Carter Hart, Dubé, McLeod, and Foote are free to talk with teams, but they cannot